Soon that we're going to talk about, and first time for the Fruit Full, the cruciferous, and the pure green foods to be offered as a today special. Fruit Full Antioxidants. I mean, this has been one of my favorites, and for so many of us, like I said, we all go through that same situation. You buy the fruit, you can't eat it quick enough, and you're not really getting all of the benefits that way. This is the way to do it, isn't it, Andrew?
And what I first want to let everyone know that all three products are the exact same pricing. So whatever the size you pick, they're exact same pricing. These products used to be much more expensive. And the reason why they're so different is, again, it's something I always talk about, standardized extracts. You could get a whole bunch of blueberries, you could dry them at home, grind them into a powder. That will not be a standardized extract. If you want a standardized extract of blueberry, it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars a pound, because what they do when they make a standardized extract, they get rid of all the food stuff. They get rid of all the things, all the calories, all the sugar, all the fiber, all the things that are the food things. And what they target in a standardized extract are the anthocyanins, the polyphenols in the case of blueberries, that are responsible for the benefits for our eye, the benefits for our heart and brain and circulation. So what each of those ingredients, and there's more than a dozen ingredients in our Fruit Full antioxidants, what each of those ingredients are targeted for their specific beneficial compound. There's a chart in front of me that I'll grab in a second here that lists them all and shows their standardization. So whether you want our Fruit Full antioxidant extracts, our cruciferous vegetable extracts, or our green foods, the large size, which is amazing to me that this is a price that actually exists, to think that it's less than 15 cents a serving.
Oh my gosh.
And this is for normally expensive ingredients. And even in the 360, it's about 20 cents a serving. And by the way, all of the 360 and 600 serving supplies would have been sold out. But as a manufacturer, I just ducked out of there. So, but I just wanted to grab that chart to show what's in our Fruit Full antioxidant extracts. But all of them would have been sold out, but we now have all of them available, so hopefully we'll have enough for the rest of the day. But again, to think that you're getting a full capsule for less than 15 cents, and when you look at our Fruit Full antioxidant extracts, mind you, there's no additives. So if we look at this chart, everything on this chart is what's in the formula. There's no binders or fillers or colors or lubricants. You open that capsule and put it in water, it will be so dark purple that it will look black. But we have our acai berry extract blend and standardized, of course, to anthocyanins, our bilberry blend, our black elder, cranberry. We have our grape skin extract, our pomegranate extract standardized for both punicalagins and ellagic acid, equivalent of a few glasses of pomegranate juice, just that 40 milligrams. Our blueberry blend extract, anthocyanins, our cherry blend, chokeberry blend, grape seed extract standardized for polyphenols and OPC's oligomeric proanthocyanidins. Our raspberry extract, 20 milligrams of resveratrol. Our typical resveratrol product is 100 milligrams, so that's 20% of that, which is about 50 or 60 glasses of red wine equivalent. Our strawberry extract, blackberry extract, our apple polyphenols, which are amazing. And then because vitamin C often comes with the ingredients, we thought we'd give you 30 milligrams of vitamin C. But that's what you get for less than 15 cents a serving and there you go, that's one capsule. I mean, it looks like an amazing science experiment.
It does.
What I do, when I look at that, and I do that at home all the time because I just drink it in my water, look, it's almost black, it's so deep purple. There's no artificial colors added. What I just wonder, why it's probably to talk about color, why on God's green earth do companies use artificial colors? When you have, in fact, we're coming out soon with our own vitamin C drink, kind of an emergency type drink. And rather than use colors, we're just using the wonderful anthocyanins that come from rich purple berries. So, and we'll have a drink that combines our cranberry with vitamin C, so it'll be a fun little product coming out in the future.
Fun.
But to look at that product, to see the power in those pigments, and mind you, that capsule, there's about 500 milligrams total in that capsule of all those different berries and all their protective compounds. It also gives you an idea. If you dried a whole bunch of blueberries and dropped it in a glass of water, that wouldn't happen. It gives you a sense of what happens when you isolate the specific protective compounds that are water soluble from those berries and fruits. Right. That's what happens. It's amazing. And every time I see it, every time I do it at home, it's remarkable. And I pretty much never drink water at home that I don't have one of these either cruciferous or fruitful or green foods mixed in, because they're mild flavor, but they just take that water and they enhance its benefits dramatically without any calories at all.
That's exactly what I do with the Fruitful, and now we'll be doing with the others. By the way, here is your savings on each one with your 30, 60, 180, 360. And then when you look at the 600, this is your powder. We just launched it in August. Everybody was looking for it because we're doing that same thing of opening up the capsules. But you remember that you're getting the same effectiveness, the same amount in the powder as you would in the capsules. This is your opportunity, only opportunity to take advantage of these prices on each and every one. Enjoying the 30 days, the free shipping. Read the reviews, because it's like 90% of the reviews on this are perfect 5-star and 4-star. And by the way, it also tastes great. And then when you think of the alternative, which so many of us go through all the time, the cost of the fruits that are out there, how rapidly you need to eat them before you go bad. And then additionally with that, I talked about a little earlier, like I love fruit juices, but fruit juices are packed, Andrew, with like tons and tons of sugars and calories.
And what's interesting, Muriel had, and fruit juices, that's one summer, I was doing all this exercise, and I was wondering, usually in the summer I get more lean when I'm doing all my exercise, and I wasn't. But that was the summer where I decided I was drinking all these healthy, natural juices, but every time I had a glass of juice, I was having a couple of hundred calories. And if you drink a half a dozen or a dozen glasses of juice a day, all of a sudden you're increasing your caloric intake by more than 1,000 calories. There was no wonder. And I'm someone who I eat healthy fat, so I don't worry about fat, but I watch my carbohydrate and sugar intake. And so a product like this, and the key is Muriel had just brought home a product that a friend had shown her, wondered what I thought about it. And it had a list of probably 70 different fruits and vegetables under a caption that said proprietary blend. And all of those fruits and vegetables, there was no standardization, there was no concentration. All it just listed the fruits and vegetables like it was some magical potion. And you deserve to know if there's a fruit or vegetable or component in a product, you deserve to know its standardization. And if there's no standardization declared, you should assume and presume that it isn't standardized. Because if you're buying a standardized ingredient versus a not standardized ingredient, I say that myself. If we just wanted some dried blueberry, we could probably buy that for $5 a pound. Our blueberry extract costs about $500 a pound. So it's a dramatic, dramatic difference. And that's the difference between a standardized extract, which is giving you the targeted compound that provides for its health benefits, or just a dried fruit or vegetable, which is just a byproduct of the produce industry and comes at a very insignificant price versus a standardized extract, which takes incredible technology to deliver those specific beneficial compounds. That's why that tiny little capsule made that little glass of water, made that not so little glass of water, probably 12 ounces, made it so deep purple that it was almost black.
Yeah, exactly, and there it is. And actually, I could even do the same thing. And you let me know when you're ready to move on, Andrew, but even putting it in a whole pitcher. Would you like me to do that, or are we ready to go?
Sure, sure. Yeah. Oh, you could do that. Because it speaks to the same thing. We'll be talking about cruciferous extracts. It speaks to the very same issue, because cruciferous extracts is the same exact concept of standardization, that we're not just giving you dried kale and dried Brussels sprouts and dried broccoli. We're giving you ingredients, and look at that, and that's one capsule equivalent in probably almost a gallon of water. And you stir it around. So again, I scratch my head. Why do people even use artificial colors? Look at that.
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
That's between 400 and 500 milligrams of powder. So it gives you a sense, and you could do the same thing with the cruciferous extracts because of the anthocyanins present in the red cabbage. But again, all of the ingredients in the cruciferous extracts, all of them are standardized. I will not do, and I've never done a product where we'll just list the number of vegetables, which technically we could do that on our label instead of having all the standardizations that we have, as we had, if I could grab, where's the cruciferous here?
Got 'em.
We could just take out all the standardization information that's on that chart, and the label is technically and legally sound. But why would I do that? That's what I'm so proud about this product about, that our broccoli extract is standardized to 1.2% sulforaphane, that our red cabbage is standardized for polyphenols and anthocyanins, that our mustard seed is 10% glucosinolates, our wasabi is 0.75% glucosinolates, same our Brussels sprouts. And the glucosinolates vary between, it's a class of compounds, so they're not all identical. And that's why when you get this incredible cross-section of polyphenols, anthocyanins, sulforaphane, and glucosinolates, it's taking the compounds that scientists, that physicians recognize as the most protective compounds from what are arguably, and I think it's a pretty good case, when people say that the healthiest foods we can eat, it's kind of a toss-up when they talk about all the fruits and berries with their polyphenols and anthocyanins. But then when you talk about all the protective compounds in cruciferous vegetables, which sadly, I'm talking about foods that many say are the most healthy foods in the world. Guess what is the most deficient food group or classification in the American diet? Cruciferous vegetables. So as much as they are arguably the healthiest things we could possibly eat, they are the ingredient that we're eating the least of overall. So that's why these two products, Fruitful Antioxidant Extracts and Cruciferous Vegetable Extracts, it's really a wonderful 1-2 punch in the most protective compounds, of the most protective compounds from the healthiest foods we could contemplate consuming. Cruciferous vegetables in a broad spectrum of those, and the berries and fruits that are rich in anthocyanins and all sorts of the OPCs and polyphenols that mark the healthiest fruits out there as well.
Right, which most of us, again, aren't eating. I know for me, like kale and Brussels sprouts are at the bottom of the list, but here I had that opportunity to get them. And in all of the sizes, I'll show you once more the savings, because again, wow, with almost 18,000 gone, you're saving on every one of the sizes. That 600 once more is your powder that I additionally have right up here, and I will once more just drop it in the glass, because I love to see this. So that's the red cabbage, right, Andrew?
That's the red cabbage extract principally that provides that color. And again, it just shows how powerful, because red cabbage, we're talking about 80 milligrams in that capsule. That looks like deep, deep purple. It doesn't look like it. It is. So again, it underscores that when you'll be getting my vitamin C drink, if you choose to one day in the future, and we might get some samples out to everyone soon.
Can't wait.
That our colors give you the anthocyanins. Our colors will provide health benefits, whereas the other colors you see out in the marketplace are artificial colors. It's unfortunate that that's the way the industry proceeds, because these ingredients are so incredibly powerful as colors, but they're also so incredibly powerful in terms of the rich health benefits they provide, benefits to our eyes, to our brain, to our blood vessels and circulation. The list goes on and on. And when it comes to cruciferous vegetables, I know it's something that I do my very best, and Muriel certainly makes cruciferous vegetables yummy, but not all of us live with a cordon bleu trained chef. So for me, she makes a kale salad that she just chops it so fine that it's delicious, and with her dressings she makes, it's wonderful. So before Muriel, I really didn't eat much in the way of cruciferous vegetables, but I recognize how healthy they are, because when you look at studies that basically take dietary history, so these large epidemiologic studies, which are studies of large populations, and they look at the habits in those large populations. It's kind of those studies that helped us identify that smoking was associated with risks, and that certain kinds of diets are associated with risks. But also, there are studies that have shown that certain kinds of diets are associated with great benefits, where it reduces our risk of disease over the course of our lifetime. So what these products hopefully serve as a reminder to embrace the benefits of fruits, to embrace the benefits of cruciferous vegetables, that these are foods that are low in calories, that are incredibly nutrient dense, and that's exactly what we do in these products. We just get rid of all the calories and everything else that you don't want, and we target the protective compounds that they all contain.
Right, and I love this, because I asked you this question a little earlier, and I love you to talk about it again, because like I say, when I turn on television, so many of these companies are touting your fruits and vegetables in these capsules, but we're not getting anywhere near with products like out there that we're getting with yours, are we?
Unless the product is informing you with a, because you see, I see them all the time.
Yeah.
Unless they're informing you that the ingredients they're delivering are standardized extracts, either they've chosen to not provide what I think is critical information for you to assess the quality of their product. And as I said before, if they're putting these standardized extracts in and they're paying 50 to 100 times more for each ingredient because it is standardized, you can bet they're going to tell you, because that's a real game changer. And again, as I said before, you could spend a few dollars. If I were making a product that just contained dried fruits and veggies, you could spend a few dollars per ingredient per pound. But if you're looking at standardized extracts, you're spending probably minimum $50 to $100 and as much as hundreds of dollars per pound. So those products that you see, as the one Muriel brought home from her friend that just had proprietary blend on the label, and then a long list of fruits and vegetables, like everything but the kitchen sink in the product, but no information about polyphenol content, anthocyanin content, glucosinolate content, sulforaphane content. Even on my label, it'll tell you the total levels of glucosinolates in that cruciferous vegetable extract product. I'm not aware of another product that does that. So again, we treat these differently because the only way to respectfully deliver these ingredients, and not just respect to the ingredients and their incredible benefits, but respect to you, is to deliver them to you as a standardized extract. If not, just eat them. I mean, I try to eat them all the time. But if you're not getting them as a standardized extract and a supplement, that tiny little pill will be meaningless. You might as well just eat the fruit and vegetable, which we should all be doing anyhow.
Exactly. But like that's, again, your health news for all of us here. So again, stay here. But as we mentioned at the very beginning, this is such an incredible Today Special because we have yet another part of this Today Special with your Green Foods Complex. And with all of the identical same sizes that we can share with everyone, huge savings in each one. Additionally, even with your 600, which is your powder, Andrew.
And green foods is something that, it's kind of very primitive foods. I was thinking about this earlier today. When you look at blue-green algae, when you look at spirulina, when you look at chlorella, these are these unicellular algal organisms. And these unicellular algal organisms are rich in chlorophyll. They're probably responsible for most or much of the air we breathe. When you think of the diatoms out in the ocean, these unicellular organisms that create the atmosphere, the oxygen that we breathe. So we're looking at something that's incredibly rich in chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is not just incredibly important to these organisms for their survival, but incredibly nutritious and beneficial to us as well. And then when we look at the grasses, wheatgrass and barley grass, and you don't need to worry, although it's wheatgrass and barley grass, ours is completely and absolutely unequivocally gluten-free. I don't make a single product that contains any gluten, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So again, you're getting these 5 green foods. And again, we talked about cruciferous vegetables. We talk about fruitful antioxidants in the berries and fruits. And people will argue and make a very good case for why each one of those might be the healthiest class of foods that we could contemplate consuming. Other people might say that it's the green foods that are the most important because of their detoxifying role that they play, because of the nutrients that they deliver. So I'm someone who, why have to pick between them? And it's not as though you have to have one of these every single day. What I often recommend to make the best use of your budget is on the days you don't have fruits and berries, that's when you have some fruitful antioxidant extracts. On the day you don't have your cruciferous, that's when you have your cruciferous. On the days you don't have any of the green foods, whether it might be some wheatgrass juice or something like that, and then you're looking at the blend, and it looks like a shot of wheatgrass. Yeah. And what's great about it, it tastes much better than that, because when you blend all 5 of those green foods, it kind of has a nice, sweet green taste, not that kind of bitter, very strong taste that I don't really care for when it comes to wheatgrass.
It's good. You're right, Andrew. It really is good.
And what's great is, again, at the 600 supply, which we were able to manufacture more of that, it's less than 15 cents a serving. In the 360 capsule, it's a little over 20 cents, right around 20 cents a serving. And again, so whichever you choose, it's an opportunity because the servings are identical. Whether it's in a capsule or not, it's identical because, again, we don't use additives to make our capsule. So whether you're looking at the powder that you find in the 600 serving or whether you're looking at the 360 capsules, the serving size, the serving is identical. No one else could say that because they always have to put additives in to make their tablets or make their capsules, which is not going to be good for you and not good for anyone except the person manufacturing it.
Exactly. You know, I always think about whenever I have the pleasure of being with you that it's not, you know, where we live or, you know, what you look like. It's just how you feel. And these are all products that will make such a difference. And we're so lucky to have them here. 30-day return policy and free shipping on everything. And then, by the way, coming up at the end of the hour, one of my favorites. We're going to talk about the Secure. So that'll be coming up for